An alien commander laughed at human reflexes. Then she caught his blade. Mid-air Commander Zexthal's mandibles clicked in amusement as he watched the human female adjust her stance in the sparring circle. Her name was Lieutenant Sarah Chen, and she stood barely shoulder-high to his towering 8-foot frame. The Cathari warrior's forearms flexed, each one ending in razor-sharp claws that could rend steel. His species had conquered 17 star systems through superior reflexes and combat prowess. Reflexes that operated at nearly 3 times the speed of most known sentient species. This is the renowned human warrior? Zexthal's translator converted his clicking speech into standard galactic. The one who supposedly defeated a Krillian death squad single-handedly. The other Cathari officers around the training deck chittered their approval of their commander's mockery. They had been forced into this alliance with the Terran Federation against the advancing Void Swarm, but none of them believed these soft, slow creatures could contribute meaningfully to the war effort. Admiral Korath, the Cathari fleet commander, gestured with one of his lower arms. "Show them, Zexthal. Demonstrate why we lead the fleet formations while they provide support." Sarah Chen said nothing. Her dark eyes tracked Zexthal's movements as he selected a ceremonial blade from the weapon rack, a curved, single-edged sword that hummed with energy. The weapon was designed for Cathari anatomy, nearly 5 feet long and weighted for four-armed combat techniques. Human reflexes, Zexthal announced to his audience, operate at a mere 250 milliseconds. Cathari reflexes function at 80 milliseconds. This demonstration will be brief. Dr. Weiss, the human xenobiologist observing from the sidelines, adjusted his glasses nervously. He had tried to warn the Cathari about certain misconceptions regarding human physiology, but they had dismissed his concerns as species bias. Zexthal moved into position, holding the blade in his primary right arm, while his other 3 limbs spread for balance and secondary attacks. His compound eyes tracked every micro-movement of the human's body. "I will move slowly," he announced magnanimously, "to ensure you can at least attempt to react." The first strike came like lightning, a diagonal slash that would stop mere inches from Sarah's throat. Zexthal's enhanced reflexes, his species' natural advantage, and his decades of combat experience made him one of the deadliest warriors in the known galaxy. The blade never reached its target. Sarah's hand shot up faster than Zexthal's enhanced vision could track, her fingers clamping down on the flat of the blade with a metallic crack that echoed through the suddenly silent training deck. The weapon stopped dead in midair, humming angrily as its energy field interacted with her grip. Zexthal's compound eyes widened in shock. Impossible. His strike had been delivered at full Cathari speed. No organic being could react that quickly, let alone stop a powered blade with bare hands. "Adrenaline," Sarah said quietly, her voice steady despite holding a weapon that should have taken her head off. "You might want to research it." Dr. Weiss cleared his throat from the sidelines. "Commander Zexthal, if I may explain what you just witnessed." "This is a trick," Zexthal snarled, pulling back on his blade. Sarah's grip didn't budge. "Some form of technological enhancement." Sarah smiled, not mockingly, but with the patient expression of someone explaining something obvious to a child. "When humans enter combat, our bodies flood with adrenaline and other hormones. Heart rate spikes to over 200 beats per minute. Time perception dilates. Reaction speeds increase by a factor of 3 to 5. She twisted her wrist slightly, and the ceremonial blade, forged from Cathari military-grade alloys, began to bend under the pressure. Pain tolerance increases by roughly 300%. Strength output jumps by 40–60%. We call it the fight-or-flight response. Zexthal tried to wrench his weapon free with all 4 arms. Sarah held it effortlessly with one hand. "The interesting thing about human evolution," Dr. Weiss added helpfully, "is that we developed on a death world. Earth's gravity is 2.3 times standard galactic average. Our atmospheric pressure would crush most species. And we evolved as persistence hunters. We chased our prey to exhaustion across vast distances." Admiral Korath leaned forward, his mandibles spreading wide. You mean, to say, under normal circumstances, Sarah continued. Human reflexes average 250 milliseconds, as your commander noted. But humans are never truly in normal circumstances. We've been living in a constant state of low-level stress adaptation for 200,000 years. When actual danger presents itself, she released the blade suddenly and Zexthul stumbled backward under his own pulling force. Our bodies remember what it takes to survive on a world that's actively trying to kill us every single day. Sarah picked up a training blade from the rack, a simple, unweighted practice sword designed for basic humanoid anatomy. She tested its balance with a few experimental swings. Commander Zexthul, would you like to try again? This time, perhaps you shouldn't move slowly on my account. The Ketheri commander looked at his bent ceremonial blade, then at the deceptively small human female who had caught it bare-handed. His species had conquered 17 star systems, but they had never faced opponents who turned their own survival instincts into weapons. Around the training deck, the assembled Kethari officers were very, very quiet. Admiral, Zexthul said, slowly, his translator making his words sound uncertain for the first time. Perhaps we should reconsider the fleet formation assignments. Sarah nodded respectfully. I think that would be wise, sir. After all, we're going to need every advantage we can get against the Void Swarm. She moved into a ready stance, her human reflexes already beginning to accelerate as her body prepared for combat. And Commander, on Earth we have a saying, it's not the size of the dog in the fight that matters, it's the size of the fight in the dog. Zexthul looked at his ruined blade one more time, then carefully set it aside. The sparring match that followed would become legend among the Kethari fleet. More importantly, it would mark the beginning of a tactical doctrine that would prove devastatingly effective against the Void Swarm, one that placed human shock troops at the spearhead of every assault. Because sometimes, the galaxy learned, being from a death world meant never really leaving the fight behind.